How's it going, everyone? We are officially in the home stretch of 2023. Man, I feel like this year has just started, but what a year it has been for gaming as a whole, with so many big titles, but a couple more big titles to round out the year. And in this video, it's all centered around Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, the latest open world game from one Ubisoft. And of course, Ubisoft these days be pumping out open world games like no tomorrow. How will Avatar's adaptation into an open world video game turn out? Well, let's look at all of the information that you need to know before you drop your $70. And $70 is just the starting point. Man, oh man, am I gonna have a little bit of a tirade about the various editions that are available for this game. Seems to be a normality in gaming, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Avatar is a big budget title based on the IP, and Frontiers of Pandora has you protect Pandora, become a Na'vi. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is a first-person action adventure game set in the open world of the western frontier of Pandora. The game's official page notes, abducted by the human militaristic corporation known as the RDA, you, a Na'vi, were trained and molded to serve their purpose. 15 years later, you are free, but find yourself a stranger in your birthplace. Reconnect with your lost heritage, discover what it truly means to be who you are, and join other clans to protect Pandora from the RDA. You'll have an expansive world to explore a world of wonder and danger, experience the epic wonders of the western frontier, a never-before-seen continent of Pandora, journey through beautiful yet unpredictable alien regions where lowering your guard can have deadly consequences throughout depending on what you do. Become a Na'vi, harness your incredible strength and agility while customizing your character, crafting new gear, and upgrading your skills and weapons to fit your playstyle, and soar to the skies. Exploration is obviously at the heart of the game, and they're going to offer you a variety of ways to really explore how you want to bond with your Banshee to travel across the vast western frontier, or take the fight to the RDA in aerial combat as well. Master multiple combat styles, fight off the dangers of Pandora as you embrace the precision of traditional Na'vi weapons, including your bow and spear thrower, or leverage your human training with more destructive weapons such as assault rifles and shotguns. Looks like, as far as depth to the gameplay, there's going to be quite a lot of that, whether it be you want to use your traditional weapons, or you want to utilize weapons that, let's be honest, we've used quite a lot in various games, not just open world action titles, but games in general. They have been quite the staple for a long time. Now, circling to the gameplay, obviously this is a Ubisoft open world game, and when you see this game in action, I think a lot of you guys that are familiar with Ubisoft open world games, there's one natural comparison that a lot of people are going to be making. Sure, it is a game based in the universe of Avatar. However, this has Far Cry written all over it, from its first-person style, its presentation, how the map is designed. You're just getting a lot of Far Cry vibes from it. It's an open world, and you've got a variety of different story quests. You've got things that you can do on the side, from things like outpost clearing, side events, everything that Ubisoft does in an open world game. All of the tried and true Ubisoft gameplay methods for an open world title really look to be here in Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora as well. Now, obviously, you do have a little bit of depth added as far as gameplay, with a variety of different weaponry. You've got human and Na'vi weaponry to take into combat. In FPS combat against the RDA, you'll use both human weaponry, like assault rifles and shotguns. Na'vi weapons include things like spear throwers, short bows, and the sniper-like heavy bow. Each weapon also utilizes different types of ammo, so experimenting with everything that's at your disposal, which it looks like there is quite a bit, is going to be one of the integral elements of the game. Now, also, as a Na'vi, you're going to have a variety of different abilities at your disposal outside of just the weapons. You are a super-powered individual. You can utilize things such as the senses, detective vision, which is something you see in a lot of games. I mean, some sort of detective vision is like a staple in every video game these days. You can highlight interactable objects and figure out what to do in specific areas. You can highlight weak points of the various enemies that you are going to come into contact with. Outside of that, you've also got elevated jumping abilities and things of that nature. One of the more interesting elements of the game that I think a lot of people are going to be excited to utilize is the fact that throughout the game, you're going to be able to bond with rideable Pandoran creatures. Throughout the story, you'll bond with a variety of different animals who you'll then be able to call as rideable mounts. It was noted that in a specific preview demo, there was a pterodactyl-like flying creature, and obviously, they're going to be utilized primarily for exploration, but also they can be utilized in combat, and you'll have a different variety of ways in how to take the combat to your enemies. You've got harvesting crafting and cooking. You can be crafting your ammos, throwables, consumable items, using materials that you gather from a variety of resources throughout the world and harvested from hunted wildlife. You can also hunt animals that'll provide meat that will allow you to cook for temporary bonuses as well, and then you'll have resources that can be exchanged. Looting is going to be a big aspect of the game. You'll be doing a lot of looting. You'll get gear from quests and activities, randomized rarities included as well, attributes and gear score to compare. Everything looks like a pretty standard gameplay loop from Ubisoft, and you do have an upgradable character with a lot of RPG elements. A skill tree is included as well. You've got sections divided into combat, crafting, hunting, and bonding with your animal companions as well. So again, if you're a fan of the Ubisoft open world titles, I think this is gonna be a game right up your alley. It's just, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into. The Avatar label is certainly there, and that will provide some unique nuances for this game in particular, with a variety of different abilities, the weaponry as well. But in terms of world design and the fundamental gameplay and the content that you're gonna encounter, if you played a Ubisoft game in the past, there's gonna be a lot of familiarity there. That could be perceived as a good thing or a bad thing these days. Given how popular these Ubisoft open world games are, I guess it'd be a good thing for most of you. But that is going to be, again, something that is subjective person to person, and you're going to have a variety of different regions to explore as well. This is going to be a vast open world game. If we talk about one thing with Ubisoft titles, their open world games these days are colossal, and Frontiers of Pandora looks like it's going to have quite the variety in its regions as well. You've got a forest that's a rainforest region with floating mountain islands. Its resident Navi clan are weavers, hunters, and most importantly, pterodactyl experts. The upper plains, the Cloud of Forest is there for you as well. It's going to be a sizable open world for you to explore, and it's going to be something of the sense that, yes, it's a $70 game, but depending on how much of the content you really do, that content is going to last a variety of different amount of hours for everybody, depending on how much of the side content you want to do. And if you're familiar with the Ubisoft titles, that side content can really extend the game quite a bit. It just really depends on how much of it you want to do. Now, first of all, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, while this is a first foray for Ubisoft to do a Avatar title, it is being handled by an incredibly talented studio in Massive Entertainment. On top of it being handled by Massive Entertainment, it is also being done by the Massive Entertainment created engine in the Snowdrop engine, and of course, Snowdrop is the most familiar for powering Tom Clancy's The Division as well. So you have the same engine powering Avatar Frontiers of Pandora as well. And as I mentioned, Massive Entertainment, they're quite the busy studio these days. Going back to 2016, which they really got off the floor when it comes to big budget titles. The Division in 2016, The Division in 2019, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora coming out on December the 6th, Star Wars Outlaws in 2024, and they are currently working on Tom Clancy's The Division 3 as well. Quite the stacked roster of games to be working on concurrently. They're also, no pun intended, a massive studio, so you can see how that comes together ahead of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora's December 7th release. And if you do want to, you can play the entirety of the story campaign, share your adventure in full campaign co-op in single player or with a full friend online in two-player co-op. So you can play it totally solo, or you can play it online two-player cooperative play. So that might be a big reason to check out the game if you do have a buddy picking it up as well, and you can play it two-player co-op. That's going to be a big incentive to a lot of people. We need more co-op games these days, and this is a pretty big budget one going the co-op route. And I always like to be blunt and honest with you guys in these videos. We gotta talk about these various editions available for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, because honestly speaking, it is getting a little wild at how expensive these various editions are. Now, if you are on PC, you can play the full game, the highest edition being the Ultimate Edition, with Ubisoft Plus. That is their $15 a month subscription service, gets you the full catalog of Ubisoft games, gets you all of the titles day one, and you can play them that way. However, alternatively, if you do want to buy the game, it'll be a $70 price tag. Look, I'm not here to complain about $70 price tags. That is the accepted price range of games these days. It's just what to expect. What is a little bit crazy is the various editions that are going to be available. It wouldn't be a Ubisoft game without a Season Pass, baby, and that's where the Gold Edition comes in. Now, a Season Pass, generally speaking, usually 20, 30 bucks, so you would think Frontiers of Pandora, maybe it'll go up to $80, $90, $100 at most. $110 for this gold edition for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and that does just include the base game and the season pass. The season pass will expand the experience, including the Skybreaker and the Secrets of the Spire story packs, Familiar Echoes bonus quest, and Resistance bundle will be included in the season pass. So that's valued at $40. This is a $40 valued season pass. 2 story packs, Familiar Echoes bonus quests, and Resistance bundle. It sounds like a lot of cash for the content that they're offering, but we'll see how ultimately that turns out. Now, that is the edition that if you want all the content, you should probably go with. However, there is a higher level edition, the Ultimate Edition. $110 I already thought was kind of crazy. $130 for this Ultimate Edition if you really want everything. Now, the Season Pass will get you all of the gameplay and content enhancements, but the Ultimate Edition includes the base game, Season Pass as well, the Ultimate Pack including the Heritage Cosmetic and Hunter Equipment Packs, and the Digital Art Book. Digital art book is what it is, like it's a digital art book. I don't think people are gonna get super excited about that. The Ultimate Pack really doesn't seem like a lot of content that's that essential to the game, but you know, stuff that you would think would have in a different era been just available in the game. It just seems like now we're stripping out content that could have been in the base game and then slapping it on to these Ultimate Editions. The Season Pass is what it is. It's a Ubisoft, you know, tried and true model, and they try to get some longevity out of their games, but a $40 value on a Season Pass, that's a little wild to me. That's expensive, so we'll see how ultimately it turns out. Now, this is a vast open world game from Ubisoft. I'm sure for your $70, if you're just looking at sheer hours of content of gameplay, you're gonna get your money's worth. It's just, we gotta see at what quality level it's gonna be. But the price point is definitely something of a concern. Now, maybe it's just me being cheap as hell. That's kind of what I do on this channel, but like $130 for the top level edition is a little wild to me, and I was a little bugged out by Mortal Kombat 1's price point, but $130 for Frontiers of Pandora, yeah, that is quite the stretch. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot to know about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, one of those games really coming at the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to heighten the visibility of the game and people are going to be more excited, or if people are just trying to catch up on all the games that have come out this year thus far. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.